Happy Sabbath. All right. This morning I'm going to tell you a story. It's going to be a short story about a boy named Dave. You know, when I was young, once yourself, little, the littlest kid in school. You know, I don't know if you know the feeling about being small and people will laugh at you when you try to play some sports. Or anyway, let me tell you my experience. When I was a little boy, much smaller than you are now, I've been laughed at by my classmates at school. My friends would laugh at me. I would try to get into the basketball team, play some basketball, shoot some hoops. But they always think of me as the runt of the litter, the small one. And, you know, it's funny when people look at you and see that you're small, they would think that you're incapable, that you're not really, doesn't amount to anything, or you can't really do anything. And so when they see me try to play once, I dribble the ball, and it was probably one of the most traumatic days at my school, because the entire student, all of the students that were watching, they were laughing at me, because this little kid who can't play is playing. And so it was really bad. Anyway, there's a similar story that I know, this little boy named Dave. There was a man of God named Sam, and he was told by God, go to this house. The man of the house, the father of the kids, was named Jess. And so go to Jess's house, and I will tell you who is the son, the boy, the teenage boy who will about to become king. Actually, God probably didn't say he was a boy, but he was just saying, go to this house and I will tell you who the next king will be. And so Sam went to Jess's house and he asked Jess, okay, make your sons come before me, and I will look at them and I will tell you, and I will anoint who the next king will be. And so the eldest son came in. Of course, he was a soldier. He's very experienced in battle. He fought a lot of wars at that time. And so surely when Sam looked at him, he said, okay, this is who's gonna be the next king. But God said no. And so Sam asked the father, okay, do you have another son? And so the next son came in. When Sam looked at him, he looked very strong and very capable. Surely this must be the next king. But God said, no, that's not going to be the one. And so all the sons came in, and God always says no. And Sam said, why do you say that? Probably in his mind, why does God say no? All those men are strong and they're very capable. They've fought wars. They're good leaders. Just by looking at them, why no? And so Sam finally said, okay, do you have another son? Are those all your sons? And Jess said, well, I do have a youngest son, and he's out in the fields right now watching the sheep. And that son happened to be Dave. And so when Dave came in, Dave was just a little teenage boy. Not much older than you are. But Dave was the one appointed by God. Not because of his looks, not because he was a little boy, not because he was young, but he had a pure heart. He was a man after God's own heart. And so Sam, by the way, was the prophet Samuel. He anointed the boy Dave, which turned out to be King David. And you can read the story in Samuel, in the book of Samuel. So, before we go back to your parents, I just want to remind everyone of you, including our bigger kids, God sees the heart. He doesn't see the world the way the world sees, where the world measures greatness by looks or by wealth or how much money you have, how many toys you have, you end up with. But God looks at your heart. And you may be young, you may think you're not capable of doing anything, but a simple smile to a friend or a stranger, a simple gesture of kindness would go a long way. Because remember, God looks at the heart and not at your appearance at all. You are special. You are bought with His blood. God died for you. And so think about that. You may now go back to your parents.
Amen.